Hello everyone and welcome back to Stone Valley. This is episode 3 of our playthrough here. We're spreading lime on the field. Last episode we kind of took care of this top part. We plowed it up, spread lime, and then planted it with alfalfa. This episode we're going to be doing the same thing to the bigger part of the field, but we're not going to be doing alfalfa. Haven't decided what we're going to seed yet. As you can see, 247 bucks. I am broke, so unfortunately, we've had to buy lime, and we're going to have to buy seed and fertilizer and stuff. So we're going to have to sell the canola. We still have a little bit left in our truck that we were going to try and save for the best price because we don't have silos, so we can't put it in a silo and wait to sell it. We just have to keep it in the truck. But can't do that anymore because we need money. So gonna grab the truck once this thing runs out and go and sell the canola so we can afford more lime. And I think this should be able to get all the way up to the top end of the field. Got it on a worker. The white has been doing some plowing. You can see we got a little bit of a buffer zone there for when we turn around with the big plow, which I guess that's the trailed lifter there. But the Ford, when he's not doing the lime, will be running the big plow. I think it's a 11 bottom, whereas this is a 5 bottom. So it's quite a bit bigger. And we could maybe even have both going if we really wanted to. I think we could. Looks like he won't quite be able to make it up to the top of the field. So once he runs out, we'll fold it up, run up to the top of the farm where we're going to refill it. And it should probably only need 1 or 2 more loads after this one that we put in it. So I'll get this thing up to the farm and get the truck ready to sell the canola at the best price, which will be South Valley Stores. So we've actually got 11,000 liters, 11,544, which I think it was a little over $1,000 per 1,000 liters, so for some reason this takes forever, but we should make a little over $11,000, probably around 12,000. And it takes a long time to dump. I'm not sure why. I mean, you can see how wide open the thing is, and there's just a tiny little bit coming out at the bottom, which doesn't make much sense, but there we go. Nearly $12,000 all said and done. Now we can drive this back, and hopefully that's enough money for us to, well, I was going to say it's enough to plant the seed and all that, to buy replacement seed, replacement lime and all that, but we do need to cut the alfalfa at some point, so I can't see a way that we won't be taking out a loan, unless we did a contract, which we could. Let's just see how much that stuff would be to lease. We need a mower, which would be $2,500 to lease. Then we'd want a tedder. I'd probably go with this one. Another 800, so we're looking about 3,300 there. You want a windrower. That's pretty cheap. So what is that? About 5,000 bucks, but then you need a baler too. And yeah, I am probably going to go with the Vermeer stuff. You're looking at almost $8,000, if my math is correct, just to cut that field of alfalfa. So we may, honestly, we may have to just wait and hold off on planting the field because we're not going to have enough money to buy the seed and all that. We'll still move forward with plowing because that won't cost us anything. We won't need to refill the fuel because the tractors have enough. We just won't seed anything, and then hopefully the alfalfa bales will make enough money to offset the leasing costs, so then we'll make money off of the alfalfa. And maybe I ought to just wait on spreading lime too. Well, let's see the prices for alfalfa hay just so we can kind of get an idea of what we're going to be looking at. At its best, it'll be $100 per 1,000 liters. What would a bale run? One bale would be probably about 6,000 to 7,000 liters. So you're looking like $700 a bale. I don't see us getting more than 10, 15 bales off of that. So I don't even know if we'd make a profit with those prices. We may be surprised how much we get. I don't know how well alfalfa yields, I guess. How long would that take to grow? Oh, we can't even cut it until April. We may have to do a contract. How big is 31? You can plow 24, which is huge. I mean, it's taken us long enough to just do this part, and we'd have to do that entire giant field. Could harvest 31. That's smaller than our field. And what would we have? We'd have the Lexian. But that's only for 12 grand right there. We may have to take out a loan, but we're gonna... That sucks. We're just gonna move forward with it. Spread lime as we planned. Plow it up as we planned and seed it like we planned. And I'll just have to look around and see what are good crops to plant. Barley could be harvested in June. We might be able to get 2 cuts of alfalfa if we cut in April and in July. Could plant oats. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'll finish up the lime and then we can get plowing done. And then we can scratch our heads and figure out what we're doing. Alright. The field is finally completed. That took absolutely ages. I don't know how many hours the tractor was on before that, but it is at 4.6 right now. So, yeah. Took a while. It took so long, in fact, and I did it over enough days, because I didn't do all that in one sitting. That would have been crazy. That the map got an update, and the update, believe it or not, needs a new game save. So all of my progress will be deleted, but I think the update is worth it. Sometimes they're not worth it. This one is, in my opinion. I believe it's going to get rid of clover, but it's going to make the premium expansion work, because the crops are on it right now, but they don't actually work. I don't need them to work. It's just I don't know, it's just part of the update. The main thing I'm excited for, they are adding Oxygen David's rye, and I think there's another crop as well that they're adding. And they're adding a bunch of new textures, bullet bills textures. I love bullet bills crop textures. So, yeah, that's the part that's going to need a new game save. Just going to go ahead and return these. Oh, actually, yeah, 2.7 hours you can see that one did, and 2 hours this one. So, technically about 4.5 hours that all of the plows did, which is pretty intense. That's a lot of time. So with the new update, obviously it's going to delete all my progress. Good news is I am capable of restoring that progress and then just jumping to whenever I'm back. So you guys don't have to see all of that, what I just did again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these tractors. Well, actually, it doesn't even matter what I do. I'm just going to have a look at what I've got. Got that truck and the grain cart, the white tractor, the Ford tractor, and then we've got the Case air seeder. It's full of seed. Couple things to buy some grain from, fertilizer and lime spreader / sprayer. Alright, and I'll just do a jump cut to when I've got all this restored. Alright, we've got everything back to the way it was, for the most part. Two things. The plowing texture is now different, so it is still plowed. I also, I put it to spread lime, but it didn't spread lime perfectly, so the pH values are not perfect, which is unfortunate. Our tractors, the second thing is our tractors don't have any hours on them, so I think the Ford had like 4.6 hours or something, and now it has 0. They're also clean, and I believe I got everything back to the way it was. I think I may have messed some things up on the truck, but again, I'm not certain. And of course, the drill has no hours on it. It's also clean. Same with these. And this spreader was used when we bought it. I don't have a way of doing that, so it's new, it doesn't have any hours, and it's fully repaired, which is unfortunate. So it's not absolutely perfect, but it's pretty close, and we have the same amount of money. Unfortunately, the crop planted next to us now is sugarcane, which you would not grow in Illinois, so that's kind of funny. Now we need to check the crop calendar to see how it's changed, to see what we want to seed next, because field 11 has been plowed. We've got alfalfa up here. It's a bright green now instead of the dark green that it was. And the two crops they've added, flax and rye. And then again, they got rid of clover. So, what is that? Poplar? Why is field 9 poplar? That's weird. The AI is doing really unrealistic things. We got a bunch of sugar cane and poplar. Sugar beet up there. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Can plant canola, can sleep and plant barley or wheat. Can plant rye next month. I might do rye. I don't remember if rye puts out straw or not. We are running the straw harvest DLC. Where is that? There it is. So we've got a few vehicles, add-ons, and whatnot. A lot of this stuff is very expensive. We got 320,000 there, 320,000 there. So I'm not getting into that right away, and we may actually be renting that stuff. And then of course there is a few buildings. Pellet hall with crane, bale and pallet storage. So really this is the one we would need, and that is about 200 grand. You can't lease a building, so we'd have to place that down or just kind of role play that that there's a straw harvest, a pellet area, but then we would have to pay a certain fee or whatever, and I don't want to deal with all that. So we'll probably just use the money we get from this harvest to purchase that stuff. That is something I want to get into very quickly. We'll see how much we make. If we make enough to do like to buy more land, then we will. The land value actually gone up because we spent like 950,000 on this originally, and now it's worth 1.4 million. And that's 3 million. That's 2, 2.7, 2.8. So everything is a lot more expensive now. Not ideal. And then he's also changed the Precision DLC like soil map, because when we bought this, the reason I bought this field is because the expected yield potential was up at like 110%, and now it's at 99, which is gross. Got 100%. I want to find where the best field is. So yeah, he's revised that pretty heavily, it seems. Field or farmland 6 might be pretty good. Yeah, so there's not as many places that are even in the green anymore, which may be more realistic, but I wish it would have stayed where it was, because now we're not going to be getting very good yields off of our field. So field 4 is a really funky shape. Most of the fields are weird shapes. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I would say the field you're probably going to get the best yield off of. Does it tell me how much land? 75 acres, 81 acres. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be field 5. It's the biggest and it has the best yield potential. Right, so another thing that's changed with the crop calendar is now we can harvest alfalfa anytime from May until November, so we'll probably get a cutoff, whereas before we would not have. It was only able to be cut in the spring, which is not realistic. You can cut and bale alfalfa anytime you want to during the spring, summer, and sometimes even the fall, as long as the weather is suitable. Right, so I'm just going to park this thing right here. We're going to switch it over to rye. And then I'm going to go sleep through the night. And we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. We're going to be planting rye. And hopefully we've got enough money for it. It's the next morning and we're ready to get into it. Got the seeder. We're heading over to the field slowly but surely because I don't want to go too fast where I get out of control and hit some traffic cars. Here's the alfalfa. It's not looking too bad. Let's get out and actually have a closer look at it. Looks like we're expected to yield 99% and the potential is 100, so we're pretty close to the max yield. Again, I think that is partially because we did put down the perfect amount of lime, but then of course when we reset everything with the new update, the lime spreading wasn't set to the right values, so it's not a big deal, just slightly annoying. I'm actually going to start on this field, this farmer's field, and whip it over so we can do the headland first. Get things unfolded. And I forgot it does take a while to unfold, which is realistic. I don't like that. Obviously, it's a little annoying that stuff takes so long to unfold. Yes, I do. But it's unrealistic. All the base game stuff that unfolds so quickly. It's just like whipping around. That's not true. Stuff doesn't do that in real life. So. Well, this is probably a little big to do all in one time lapse, so I'm going to try and break it up into a couple of smaller chunks with some jump cuts and whatnot. And we're probably going to call it there. I don't know how long this episode has been so far, but it's been a lot of work. I've spent around 2 hours just plowing the field alone. I don't even remember everything else I did. Plus I had to get all this stuff set up, which took a while, so yeah. We'll get this thing done as a time lapse, and we'll be off to the next episode. I hope you enjoy. Well, this has taken quite a while. Nearly been an hour of working in the field, and I'd say we're a little over halfway done, so not quite 2 hours of planting to get this thing done, but we are out of seed. Well, I mean, we've got, fertilizer. We've got 20 liters of fertilizer. We've still got almost half of the seed, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to afford any of this, or at least not very much. So I'm not sure what I need to do in that regard. There we go, we're officially out. I could technically keep planting without fertilizer, but I'm gonna go fill up. And I guess, is there anything I can sell? I mean, I could sell my auger cart. Man, I wanted to do this without needing a loan, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And I don't really want to sell my stuff. Yeah, I think I'll just have to take out a loan. Probably for like 50 grand. Because I'm going to have to lease the equipment to cut my alfalfa as well. Not ideal. We're going the wrong way, guys. There's 50 grand. We're supposed to be gaining money so that we can buy land and the Straw Harvest DLC stuff. Instead, we're losing money. And yeah, I'm not even certain we're going to make money off of the alfalfa. I hope we will, but I don't know. That would suck. Spending all this money on planting the alfalfa and making, leasing all the alfalfa stuff. And then not even being able to afford, not even making a profit off of it. Sorry, my brain is scattered. Not literally, that would be painful. There's the fertilizer, back it up. And we will get more seed. Oh, I need to go back to the other side, don't I? And then back it up. Because you can't be in the trigger when the fill type changes. It doesn't work like that. You have to back up, switch to the other side, and then it works. Okay, well I just spent $8,000 to refill my seeder. That stuff is expensive. Right, let's get back in the field, and I'll probably maybe do some work off camera in between episodes. But more than likely, we're going to finish up the field at the beginning of next episode. And then we will be moving forward, hopefully to get a cut of alfalfa off. And potentially moving forward to... Actually, when is rye ready for harvest? Oh, it'll be all the way in June. So it's pretty far off, but... yeah, who knows? I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and any comment that you want to. Greatly appreciated. I'll see you next time. Peace.